Hey guys, I'm going to talk about some natural ways to overcome heartburn and indigestion. I actually had been suffering with heartburn for about a year. I don't seem like the natural candidate you would assume that would get heartburn, being young, obviously, but it can actually affect anyone and does affect about 10% of Americans on a daily basis. So, one of the big things that people don't realize with heartburn is it's not because you have too much stomach acid. That's actually the exact opposite of why the majority of people get heartburn. So heartburn, you may have heard it called GERD, or in other countries GORD, acid reflux, indigestion, kind of all the same thing. So GERD is gastroesophageal reflux disease, and essentially it's not a disease because it can be cured naturally, but they call it a disease if you get it more than twice a week, which a lot of people do. So one of the biggest things that I was hesitant with is taking a prescription pill. And a lot of times doctors will prescribe prescription medicine to help with heartburn because it can be dangerous in the long run if left untreated. Heartburn, especially frequent heartburn, can eventually lead to Barrett's esophagus and sadly esophageal cancer if left untreated for years and years, because it does eat away at the delicate tissue in your esophagus. So it is important to treat it, but treating it with natural ways and natural options is a much better way of doing it. So most doctors, if you do have acid reflux, at least frequently, will offer to prescribe you a PPI. It's also called a proton pump inhibitor. So essentially, those will just mask and try to cover your acid secretion functions that happen in your stomach naturally. It will just mask those, and over time you'll have to either change the type of prescription you take. Any of these PPIs are going to end in ozol, so lansoprazole, omeprazole, those are all the same things effectively. And what you'll have to do is usually up your dosage over time, because your stomach's going to naturally try to fight that and create more acid because that's its job. And in addition to that, you might have to change up the style that you take to kind of keep your stomach on its toes and do what you're not supposed to do, which is to block stomach acid. So basically, the majority of people get heartburn because they're overweight. Smoking, nicotine can actually relax your stomach muscles and allow acid to come back up. Poor diet, what they call the standard American diet, or the SAD diet, can really make heartburn bad, and that's why we see it so prevalent today. Antibiotic use, which can actually kill off all your good bacteria and thus allow fermentation in your intestines. Alcohol can do that. Tight clothing, believe it or not, which is also the same with being pregnant or overweight, because it puts additional stress and pressure on your stomach and your muscles. Bacteria overgrowth like H. pylori or Candida can actually make fermentation take place and allow overgrowth of bad bacteria, which those bacteria basically release gases and toxins like hydrogen and other things, which then put pressure and bring that acid up. And another thing that a lot of people don't realize is actual chronic stress can really do a real number on your digestive system, and that's why they say never eat when you're stressed, because your body will just basically go in fight or flight mode, and it will not give off the enzymes and different things that your body needs to digest that food. So the different kinds of heartburns, okay? So there's two kinds of heartburns that many people experience. There's the traditional heartburn, where you literally feel it burning right here. Your esophagus goes right in front of your heart, right behind your sternum right here. So you'll feel that burning right here. That's acid splashing up, and your body is telling you something's wrong. So by quieting that, you have to be careful, because something's wrong, and it is dangerous if left untreated. So heartburn, you'll feel that. You'll feel like, basically feels like an elephant's kind of sitting on your chest and just deep burning. That's heartburn. Another thing that people get is called LPR, or silent reflux. The actual name, and it's hard to pronounce, is laryngeal phageal, and I'll probably butcher that, reflux disease, or essentially LPR. So what that means is that you get burning way up in your esophagus, past your larynx, past your voice box, and into your throat and into your sinuses. So some people get just heartburn, some people get LPR, some people get both, but generally you usually get one or the other. So LPR, a lot of people, they don't realize that they're even getting heartburn, is you'll have chronic sore throat, you'll have fullness in the ears, which is what I got a lot. You can get asthma, what feels like asthma, it's not actually asthma, and that's because it's being breathed, these toxins and these bad gases, which are extremely low pH, which means they're very acidic, are going into your lungs and actually burning your lungs, which isn't good. And another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you can get this feeling of a lump in your throat, and additionally you'll feel like food is getting stuck as it's going down. And if you do get that feeling, that's because your esophagus is actually trying to heal and put skin and grow different things over your sores that this acid has burned, and it will actually grow different things in your esophagus to heal and cover those wounds, but it can make it feel like things are getting stuck on the way down. So that's another symptom of LPR, or consistent heartburn. Okay, so many doctors in the West, and really many doctors around the world, they're going to tell you that acid reflux is due to too much acid, and that's actually just not the case. So most of the time, and many people say over 90% of the time, that people get acid reflux or indigestion or LPR or whatever you want to call it, is because you have too little stomach acid. And that seems very counterintuitive, and in fact it does, right? How could you have acid reflux if you have too little? But actually what happens is, about 30% of adults have too little stomach acid. And there could be a number of reasons for that. Like I said, the SAD diet, the standard American diet. It can be from chronic stress. It can be from a number of things. But what happens is essentially when you have too much stomach acid, your food is not broken down properly, your stomach is not emptied quick enough, and you allow bad bacteria to grow because you do not have stomach acid that is killing off the bad bacteria. And a lot of these bad bacteria, specifically H. pylori, when it sets up shop in your stomach, it actually produces alkaline type enzymes or bodies around the cells, which in turn kill off your stomach acid, which again is important and you need. Stomach acid is not bad. That is not what we're trying to stop here, okay? So if we can figure out how to get good bacteria and good acid back in, we can fix the majority of the reason people are getting heartburn. And again, it's not because you have too much acid in your body, it's actually too little. So a PPI is going to take what little stomach acid you have, and it's going to block it completely. So when you block that little stomach acid that you now have no stomach acid, which can lead to the abundance of overgrowth if you already didn't have it to begin with. It can lead to malabsorption of nutrients. That's why they say you can get osteoporosis by taking an acid blocker. It seems very strange that you'd have bone issues by just simply taking a pill for heartburn. That is because calcium you need that acid to absorb calcium. You can also become B12, magnesium, and iron deficient because you're not able to break down these things. In addition, there's bad bacteria on everything you eat. There's also good bacteria, but if there's dangerous pathogens that you eat or anything like that, your stomach acid is the first line of defense to kill those things. And if you're simply suppressing all that acid, you're allowing all this bad bacteria to grow and fester. And believe it or not, because of the malabsorption issues of nutrients, people who take PPIs for an extended amount of time actually have a higher rate of esophageal cancer than those who just leave their heartburn untreated. It's about 60 to 80% higher because you have starved your body of nutrients because it cannot absorb them, and therefore those nutrients are there to protect your good cells and to fight off any cancer or carcinogens or anything like that. In addition, stomach cancer is much higher for people that take PPIs as well, because that stomach acid is there and it protects and builds a lining around your stomach to protect from ulcers and different things like that. So let's talk about the don'ts. There's going to be some do's and there don'ts. There is no magic bullet, and that's why so many doctors just prescribe a PPI or an H2 like Zantac to basically just say, here, fix this. You can just keep eating what you want, drinking what you want, eating as much as you want, and here's a pill that can fix that. That's unfortunately not how God designed our bodies as an end all. Now, I'm not saying do not take your pills. I'm not promoting that by any means, but it just, maybe it's a conversation to have if you are taking those, to see, you know, what you can do naturally to maybe offset that and eventually wean off of those PPIs and H2s. And you don't want to just stop taking those, especially if you take them for a while, because you'll have a rebound effect. So make sure if you are going to stop taking those under doctor's orders, to definitely wean off of PPIs, maybe switch to an H2 like Zantac, and then slowly wean off. So the don'ts. These are the quick and easy ways to at least help. Probably 50% of your symptoms you can help by just cutting these types of things and habits out. So the don'ts: don't smoke. Nicotine obviously relaxes your lower esophageal sphincter, which is supposed to stay closed and keep the acids in your stomach and going down. Don't drink alcohol. Same idea, relaxes the muscles. Don't drink coffee, it's extremely acidic. And if things are coming up, you're just adding more acidity and whatnot, therefore making your symptoms worse. Okay. Don't consume caffeine, okay, or carbonated beverages. Beyond the fact that they have bad sugar and bad syrup, the carbonation and the combination of caffeine with some of those carbonated drinks can just make things worse, as it's going to force things to go up, right? Okay, large meals is another one that's really important to try to avoid. So chew your food slowly. Don't stuff yourself. That's one of the hardest things for me to overcome, because I love food. Don't eat large meals, okay? So like 6 small meals a day is the best thing that you can do. Fat and greasy foods, fried foods, fatty foods. Lean cuts of meat are good, so turkey and chicken, make sure they're very lean, okay? Those are good things. Cut out oranges, grapefruits, citrus fruits, okay? Spicy foods, that's usually given for most people to understand about the side effects of heartburn, is to cut out spicy foods immediately. Ibuprofen and different painkillers, try to avoid those, okay? Especially for an extended time, those can just wreak havoc on your digestive system. And then tomato-based foods. So spaghetti, pizzas, different things like that. Try to substitute it with different things. So I try to substitute it with homemade Alfredo, so I can still have pasta. But you want to watch the carbs, okay? Another thing to avoid is very high carbohydrate foods. So the do's, okay? These are kind of the harder ones, especially for me to do. It's kind of easy to cut out foods and to go on a restrictive diet, but the do's, especially getting on a schedule of taking all these supplements every day, are a little bit difficult to stay on track. So the do's, you want to make sure that if you do get heartburn, to supplement taking a Tums, which are just sugar, and a lot of them have heavy metals in them, like aluminum, different things like that. Try to just use baking soda instead, okay? That's really all that you see in Alka-Seltzer is pretty much baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. So just use that instead of a tablespoon of pure baking soda in a cup of water, drink that, and that will help with the symptoms, okay? It's not a long-term solution, but you do want to help with the symptoms if you have burning in your chest. Okay, prop up your bed 6 inches at the head. This is going to help at night with stomach creeping up your esophagus. You can also buy a wedge pillow on Amazon. They're about $30. And that, if you don't want to prop up your bed, that's just going to raise your head and keep the acids obviously down in your stomach a little bit better. You can also sleep on the left side of your body. That's actually a more natural way to sleep, especially if you get heartburn. It's just the way that your stomach and esophagus are built. So, high quality probiotic. Okay, this is my probiotic right here. You can get one. You want to make sure it has billions of cultures. Okay, these are good right here. This is good bacteria that you want to put inside your body. It's going to help and not allow the overgrowth of bad bacteria. Okay, very important every day, every meal. Another thing is digestive enzyme. Okay, I like this Rainbow Light brand. You can get it in most grocery stores. Digestive enzymes are what your pancreas creates to help digest food and break things down. A lot of people who are lactose intolerant, they don't create a specific enzyme to break things down. Whatever. Okay, take a digestive enzyme with every meal, and it's going to help with bloating, and of course that in turn leads to acid reflux. Fermented foods, you want to eat these as much as possible. So Kefir or Kefir, as some people call it, and sauerkraut. Okay, this is what your Kefir looks like. Okay, drink this. I drink about a third of it a day, and it is carbonated because again it's fermented, but it's not heavily carbonated, and there's very good bacteria in here. Okay. Another thing is DGL. Right here, where'd my DGL go? You can find this not at usually a grocery store. You have to go to a health food store. Okay, Deglycyrrhizinated licorice. They take the glycerin out of it, which can raise blood pressure, and it's just licorice. Chew it slowly before each meal, and it'll help with the lining of your stomach and protect your esophagus. Okay, so that's a really important one. Especially helps with ulcers or different things like that. Virgin coconut oil. Right here, this is one of the best things you can put in your house. Swap out your bad vegetable oils, your canola oil. Those are just not good for you, okay? Cook with this, take a tablespoon a day and then up it eventually to 3 tablespoons a day. Make sure it's virgin, make sure it's organic. You'll notice it's crystallized, okay? That is the good stuff. You don't want to just get, non-raw coconut oil because it's not good for you. Okay, this is what you want right here, and this is going to act as an antifungal and kill off the candida and different bad bacteria in your digestive tract, okay? Apple cider vinegar, again, counterintuitive. Some of the best things that you can have in your house are coconut oil and apple cider vinegar. Make sure it's organic, make sure it's raw, make sure it's cloudy on the bottom. This Bragg's is probably the most popular brand. Take about a tablespoon with 6 ounces of water, mix it up and swallow it about 20 minutes before your meal, and that's going to help with the lack of hydrochloric acid that you have in your stomach to break down foods. It also kills off bad bacteria. It has a lot of other good effects with allergies and your immune system. It's just a great thing to take every day, even if you don't have acid reflux. Okay, slippery elm. Okay, this is going to help with your throat. It also helps coating your digestive tract. If you get a sore throat, especially from acid reflux or LPR, slippery elm, suck on this. These lozenges, about 4 to 5 a day, and they do last quite a while. But those are very, very good instead of just sugary, cough drops. Okay, aloe vera juice, you can buy aloe vera. I bought this, you can buy it in a powder also. So I have these GIN caps. This has marshmallow root, aloe vera, slippery elm, and DGL all in one. So this is a nice way to just get it if you don't want to take separate supplements, okay? Raw honey, very good thing, especially raw honey has good bacteria in it, and it can also help with allergies, coat your throat, and is a good replacement for sugar if you can just get rid of raw, or if you can replace raw honey with, just terrible white sugar. This is the best way to go, okay? Spirulina. So your spirulina is actually just like an algae. Make sure you get good vegan spirulina. This is going to help. This can help if you're getting acid reflux at the moment, and in the long run, this is going to help your overall well-being with just putting good, healthy algae and different, I think it's called chlora, into your body. Don't quote me on that, but spirulina is very good. Another thing actually that can help is taking melatonin every night. You can Google it, hit Control-T on your browser, Google right now, melatonin, acid reflux. Plenty of natural doctors will tell you that this works. Take it about 40 nights in a row. It'll cause you drowsiness, of course, but take this every night and you will notice that it will help in the long run, hopefully. Okay, another thing, ginger. You can take it in capsules, you can take it in chews. Just make sure it's raw, nothing else added. I get the chews from Trader Joe's, but they're very good to just eat. They'll help if you're getting reflux. They'll help just if you get a queasy stomach or you're nauseous, anything like that. Everyone knows that it's good for motion sickness. But ginger is a healing candy. If you get it in candy like that or a capsule, it just does great things for you, okay? Another thing that's very important is, what to eat. So again, these are the do's. If you need to snack on something, snack on a banana or snack on an avocado. Okay, bananas are very alkaline, so they're going to help you. You can also snack on melons. So honeydews, cantaloupes, watermelons, those are very good for you. They're obviously very high in water, I think probably 80-90% water content. So that's going to help with your reflux, and they are obviously healthy for you, of course. And then the avocado has natural fats and is very alkaline as well, so that's going to help. Okay, another big thing is to reduce stress. So don't eat when you're stressed out. Breathe slowly before you eat, and don't be tense, and just calm yourself before you eat. That way your body can relax and produce the natural enzymes and acids it needs to allow you to digest your food. If you're not digesting your food, you get indigestion. That is what in turn leads to the acid reflux, okay? Make sure you're exercising. You don't have to go and be a bodybuilder. Clearly I'm not, okay? But you want to make sure that you are doing some cardio, 20 to 30 minutes at least, multiple times a week. Get your heart rate up, okay? That's going to reduce stress, and that's going to help you digest your food and create the enzymes and different things you need to digest your food regularly, okay? And the biggest do is replace all the processed GMO, non-organic foods in your house, replace all of those bad foods, right? The non-healthy processed foods that you're going to find in the boxes and the chips and the pretzels and everything else. Those have no nutritional value, and they are so hard on your body to break down. So make sure you get rid of all of those and that you're eating raw foods. The easiest way to know is a raw food should have no ingredients list, okay? If you eat one ingredient foods, bananas, avocados, chicken breast, that's obviously vegetarian fed chicken and it's not just this nasty Tyson stuff, okay? Make sure you're eating good, raw, single ingredient foods, and this is what your body is made to break down. If you are gonna eat like oats or different things, make sure they're sprouted and soaked, because that's gonna allow your body to digest those. Otherwise, it's very hard for your body to get any nutritional value from just eating raw oats that aren't soaked. Okay, so you're not gonna notice immediate results. Nothing that is good in the long run is usually quick, but make sure that you stick to the do's, take the supplements that you need, eat healthy, juice every day, get lots of greens, and prop up your bed, reduce stress, and you will notice that in probably about 3 to 6 months, if you stick to this, you should hopefully be able to come off of your prescriptions and go back to eating normal. And hopefully the new normal is that you're going to eat healthy, because at the very end, if you're eating healthy and green, and you're going to feel better, and you're going to just naturally be happier, and in turn you're going to lead to a better digestive system. Your gut health is the biggest player in your immune system. So if you can get your gut healthy and get the flora built up again in your stomach, you're going to just feel better. The headaches are going to go away. The fatigue, the drowsiness is going to go away. You'll notice by juicing and eating healthy, clean foods, you're going to just feel better overall. So I hope this has helped. Again, I'm not a doctor, of course, but this is just what has worked for me and what I found is beneficial. I hope it helps you as well.